Hi guys, Spurs and Chelsea here, back with another video, and in today's video we'll be previewing everything to do with tomorrow's game, which is another clash against Chelsea, this time in the Premier League. Can we keep our unbeaten run and Antonio Conte going? This is going to be a really tough challenge, really put us to the test. So let's see, so we'll be previewing everything to do with tomorrow afternoon's game on Super Sunday. I hope you're well. Let's crack straight into today's video, and let's start with the team news ahead of our big game against Chelsea. We've already sadly lost 2 games in the Premier League. We've got an unbeaten run under Antonio Conte going, I believe it's at 10 games at the moment. It's incredible. Can we keep it up against Chelsea? That's a big question. So starting with the team news, Spurs team news. Eric Dier is back for our huge Premier League clash against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. That's big news, that's good. The defender returns to the fold after missing our last 4 matches through illness and injury. However, Antonio Conte reported a couple of problems after our thrilling 3-2 win at Leicester on Wednesday evening, and a decision will be made on those players on Saturday. We're happy because Eric today had a good training session with us and he's fit 100%, Antonio told us after training on Friday. Then after the game against Leicester, we have a couple of problems with injuries. We're trying to understand if these 2 players will be available for the game against Chelsea or not. Tomorrow we'll be decisive on this. There were also updates for Antonio on Christian Romero and Jim Son. On Christian, Antonio said, Christian is almost ready to come back for sure. After the international break he can play, and that's good news for us. Also, to underline, this injury gave us a possibility to see the improvements from Davinson Sanchez, Jaffa Tanganga, Ben Davies. We've had a problem at one end, but we've seen great improvement. Speaking about Sonny in his press conference, Antonio said, Sonny's not available, not yet, we have to wait. He's recovering very well. I'm sure we will have to wait until after the international break. So that is the team news. Dier's back, which is good, but there's a couple of problems. He hasn't named who at the moment, so I'll let you know more about that. Now we're going to go quickly into my predicted lineup using the tactics board and explaining tactics to play Chelsea. So this is my predicted lineup. I have it all prepared for you. Obviously we don't know the problems, but regarding we don't know the problems, this is my predicted lineup. I'm going to run you through it. Change of formation from the amazing comeback at the King Power Stadium to face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I've gone with a 3-4-2-1. But it will be defensive and having to counter attack. But if you haven't noticed, I've got 3 attackers to counter on the counter attack, whereas in the game against Chelsea, in both legs of the Carabao Cup, we only had 2 forwards. So I've gone with 3 forwards here to offer more attacking threat on the break and also good defensively. So let's go for it. Hugo Lloris has signed today a new 2-year contract with the club. Amazing, Hugo. Taking it up until 2024, which I'll be reading you a quote from him more about him signing a new contract a bit later in today's video. Centre-back Davinson Sanchez, as Conte said, gave him a chance to improve when Romero got injured. Eric Dier welcomed straight back into the starting 11 after injury. We have missed him. Conceded a lot of goals recently without him. Left centre-back, Ben Davies, who's adapted, as I said, many times before, so well to any role of the back 3, so comfortable in it, and under no threat for his position at the moment. Left back, I've gone with Sergio Reguilon. I thought, despite coming off when we were losing, he was a key part of that game against Leicester, flying full-back. Right, wing back, I've got Matt Doherty. He came on for half-time against Emerson Royale. I think it was tactically, but it could have been a problem for Emerson Royale, but he struggled at late. I know Emerson's only 22, but Doherty, despite what I think of him, he's done better than Emerson of late. Midfield, I've gone with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I thought I had a good game against Leicester. Getting that decisive pass to make Steven Bergwijn have the equaliser. Along with Oliver Skippy, they're both charging forward while Harry Winks out. I've had to remove Harry Winks out of the team despite him doing nothing wrong to offer more attacking threat, so we can, if Chelsea score, we can score on the counter. And now, so you've got Lucas Moura. I love it when he takes on players. Steven Bergwijn starting after scoring a brace against Leicester to turn the game round from when we were 2-1 down in the 5th minute of added time to the 7th minute of added time, scoring twice in the 5th minute and the 7th minute of added time. Incredible, and he deserves to be in the starting 11. I hope he can just do it in the starting 11. He hasn't done it, he's just done it off the bench. And centre forward Harry Kane, who could have got a hat-trick against Leicester. He did get that single goal, and he's back firing, and he always scores against Leicester. So that is my predicted lineup. Now going into tactics. Defensively, I hope I think, by the way, I hope Doherty's better because he's not his left wing back role. Prefer him at the right wing back. Defensively, I hope it looks. So I've got a shape. Our shape defensively is like a 5-4-1, which is interesting. But then on the counter attack, what I want it to look like is, of course, Moura and Bergwijn can swap if they're not getting any freedom. On the counter attack, I want it to look really interesting. So not overcommitting, of course, on the counter-attack. You want the front three. I've gone with the extra forward, Bergwijn, Moura and Kane. Reason I've done that, Bergwijn and Moura, I'm hoping, with their counter-attack can really catch Chelsea on the break, which we lacked, I think, in the Carabao Cup. So I'm hoping they can bring that. Full-backs on breaking high. I think the full-backs are really key. I often highlight a position. The midfield, I said, was key against Leicester. Turned out pretty much to be the case, I think. Well, Bergwijn said today. But I think the full-backs in this game, for us, will be key. Doherty and Reguilon. Defensively, into a back five, as I've said, stopping Chelsea. Chelsea have all the ball. But the difference is we need to stop them from scoring. If we score, you need to, you've got players on the counter-attack. So I'm hoping we can get lots of chances on the counter-attack and we can manage to take our chances like we didn't do in the second leg. Because if we take our chance, if we get the chances, we did. In the second leg, we lost 1-0 at home, but the time was already over. If we get those chances, then that's where we need to score them. I've had an extra attacker. And so defensively, I think we're okay with Lucas and Bergwijn tracking back and also the fullbacks. And attackingly, if we have a good period, possibly even overlapping centre-backs, but I don't want to overcommit. 3 forwards is enough, and the wing-backs. So that is formation and tactics. Yeah. Now we're going to go into predicted score. I think it'll be a very tough game at Stamford Bridge. It always is against Chelsea, but I do believe we get a point. I think it'll be a 0-0 draw like it was when we had Jose Mourinho in charge, but this time a more fascinating 0-0 draw with Chelsea dominating possession. We defended very well. You would expect lots of goals in this game. Chelsea dominated possession, going all out attack. We defending but counter-attacking on pace. To be honest, you'd expect goals, but I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw as is on the screen now. Let me know your predicted score in the comments below for a chance of shout out in the next video. You have to submit it in this video below, in this pre-match review, and you have to do it before the ball kicks off at 4:30 tomorrow, which I'll be telling you more about next. If you keep watching, how to watch. We already have one predicted scoreline, which is 2-2 by Ricky. Anyone want to add to that? Can anyone beat Ricky, or can anyone beat me? I go 0-0. Ricky goes 2-2. He's going with the reasonable thing and going with a high-scoring game, which makes sense when our counter-attacking threat and Chelsea's general attack. But I go into the game with confidence, to be honest with you guys, after the late drama at the King Power Stadium, that anything's possible and we need to take that fight into the Chelsea game. I believe in the second half, the second leg, we fight. But if we play well the whole game, see, we can't do a one-half team. Against Chelsea, you've got to play well for that whole 90 minutes and including adding time. So use that. So take our chances, which we didn't do in the second half, and use the fight and effort we used in the second half in the second leg against Chelsea. So fight, don't give up to the end, defend well, be positive, be brave, get stuck in. It's a derby, and a point will be very good. Put it that way. Speechless, as it'd be amazing, to be honest, against a good opposition. But I think we can catch Chelsea. I think if we win this game, we can catch Chelsea. The gap is closing. We've got games in hand still. We sit in 5th position at the moment. Now going into how to watch. Tomorrow's game is a 4:30 kickoff in 24-hour clock known as 16:30, which I said is 4:30 in normal time. On Super Sundays, that's Sky Sports main event or Sky Sports football. Coverage will begin at 4 o'clock. It's a Super Sunday treat for you all. Now, before we go into the travel information, as I said, Hugo Lloris signed a new contract, so I'm going to be telling you a bit about that because it's a big thing, of course. Our captain, brilliant keeper who saved us so many times this season, has signed a new contract, which is good because his contract was running out. Here we go, Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris declared it's an easy decision to extend his stay at the club. Approaching his 10-year anniversary at Spurs, arriving from Lyon in August 2012, our number one has signed a new deal that will take him to the summer of 2024. Proud captain of club and country World Cup 2018 and UEFA Nations League 2021 winner with France, Hugo turned 35 on Boxing Day. yet simply gets better and better, reflecting in the current sequence of 67 successive starts in the Premier League dating back to March 2020. And he picked up an injury in that time against Brighton, if you remember. That's the only reason he didn't play. Here's Lloris's quote. I feel really happy, obviously for me, but also for my family, to extend my stay in London and at Spurs for the next 2 years. Hugo told us after putting pen to paper. I feel it's a privilege to play football and play for such a big club like Spurs. Also, the relationship with the fans is important for me. In the last few months, I've felt their support even more than before, so the decision was really easy to take for me. I'm really happy to be in this situation and to be focused now on the next months and years to continue our work and to continue the development of our team. I believe we are in a new process under Antonio Conte with a strong team basics to give us a foundation and a structure. Then it's up to the players to show their quality step by step. We'll see improvement. My wish is to become even more competitive and to close that gap with the best teams in England. For example, I'm going to add to that, like Liverpool and City, closing that gap. And why not get back in the Champions League? Fair enough. This season is my personal target, to help the team and the club to continue in that way and to enjoy football. Now it's the beginning of a new process, and hopefully with help of Antonio and his staff, with his experience and with his energy, with his discipline, we're going to make something important for the club. Hugo has racked up the records in recent seasons. In March last year, he became the first goalkeeper to reach 100 clean sheets for the club in the Premier League, and only the 16th to make it to a century in the competition. In August, he toppled Darren Anderson's record mark of 299 appearances for us in the Premier League, and doing so became the first player to make it to 300 appearances for us in the competition. France's most capped record, he also holds the record for captain in Les Blues. Already 14th in our all-time appearance list with 395, Hugo will soon become only the 12th player to make it to 400 plus appearances for us in all competitions. Only two keepers, all-time greats, Pat Jennings, which at 590, and Ted Ditchburn, 452, have played more for us. What's the secret? It's a question that Hugo got asked. It's interesting because when I started my career, I always had a target to arrive at this age, at 35 years old, he explained. Now I listen to my body even more, listen to myself, and I feel really, really good. That's the most important thing. I feel good in my mind. I feel good in my body, and I feel ready for the challenge for the next 2 years, ready to fight, ready to work. This is something that is in my mind every day. When I wake up in the morning, I go to training with happiness, with a desire to work, with a desire to improve. I believe that there is no age to improvement. It doesn't matter what age you are. The most important thing is your willingness. I used to be very demanding of myself, and I continue in that way, and probably even more to the players around me, because it's the only way to improve together as a team and to reach a high level together as a team. If you want to watch that video, Hugo is on Spurs TV on the latest article. It's a video of him giving a speech, basically what I just said, but you can actually see him talking. So that is Hugo Lloris signing a new contract, captain. My reaction to that, very happy. Excellent goalkeeper, really proved it this season despite his critics at times. I think he's a fabulous goalkeeper, one of the best in the world. Best in the Premier League this season, I think, as well, personally. Saved us so many times when we really struggled, for example, under Nuno and Mourinho. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper, and he is, despite his reputation of captaining club and country Spurs in France, he's still underrated, in my opinion. Now, finally, travel information. If you're travelling to Stamford Bridge on Sunday, not the best stadium to go to, I know, but to watch Spurs play, it's always worth it. To watch the best team in the world play, even if it's at a rubbish stadium. Best team in the world is us, by the way. Information for fans travelling to Chelsea on Sunday. Supporters making the trip to West London for our Premier League fixture on Sunday should be aware of the following information. A reminder that we kick off at 4:30pm, which I've already told you, with gates opening at 2:30pm. Chelsea's guide for visiting supporters can be found on the Spurs official app. Homophobic chanting, "Rent Boys." We should like to make supporters aware that the Crown Prosecution Service now considers the term "rent boy" a homophobic slur and a hate crime. It has indicated it will take criminal action against supporters using the term, which could also be a result in the Football Association sanctioning the club. We urge any supporters who has used this chant in the past to read the proud Lily White statement on retiring the chant and the co-chair's personal statement on the impact it has on his experience of supporting the club. COVID-19 status certification. Following our recent announcement on the introduction of new Plan B protocols, all supporters over 18 attending a home or away match but must take a declaration of their COVID-19 status via an online form. Supporters only need to complete the form once for all home and away matches this season. Supporters who have not submitted their form can do so on the Spurs official app on the article that I'm reading, which is travel information to go to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea will be conducting COVID-19 status checks for all supporters aged 11 and above who must be prepared to present proof of full vaccination or a negative lateral flow test result in the last 48 hours prior to kick-off. Over 11 has to do it, they've decided at Stamford Bridge. As at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the best way to do this is by using the NHS COVID Pass via the NHS app. Supporters are unavailable to use the app for whatever reason can present proof of status using the below methods that I'm going to list. Printed PDF version of the NHS COVID Pass, a negative COVID test result, email or text message obtained within 48 hours prior to kickoff, a medical exemption certificate or letter, an NHS COVID Pass letter, an EU digital COVID certificate, an international equivalent provided by your local governing body. Supporters are asked to arrive 1 hour before kickoff to allow for checks on entry to the stadium. Supporter Code of Conduct. Supporters are asked to read and agree to abide by Chelsea's Code of Conduct. This includes following public health guidance, only attending the match if fit and well to do so, and wearing a face covering in all indoor areas other than when eating or drinking. It's the same similar code of conduct around all the Premier League. Getting to Stamford Bridge. The nearest tube station is Fulham Broadway on the District line, which is a few minutes walk from Stamford Bridge. There are no scheduled engineering works affecting the stadium for this match. Supporters are advised to plan their journey in advance using TfL's Journey Planner to ensure arrival in plenty of time to allow for the stadium entry checks. Entrance to the stadium. The visitors section is located in the shed end, and supporters are advised to approach the stadium via the Stamford Gate from Fulham Road. A queuing procedure will be in operation outside the stadium to coordinate and moderate the flow of supporters to the turnstiles to ensure safe entry. COVID-19 status checks will take place prior to the queuing procedure, which will involve the following procedures: pre-entry ticket checks, body and bag search, electronic ticket stand, entry through turnstile. A larger image of the plan above is available on the Spurs official apps. They've got a picture of how it all works. It may be necessary to temporarily hold supporters at cauldron points to achieve a safe and steady flow through the turnstiles. Chelsea would like to make supporters aware that large number of supporters arriving late cannot have an expectation to make it into the stadium before kickoff. Arrive early, guys. So supporters are asked to arrive 1 hour before kickoff to allow for stadium entry checks and also to have lunch and also just to enjoy the Spurs players warming up. Departing the stadium. Visiting supporters will depart the stadium via the Stamford Gate onto Fulham Road. Safe standing. Along with Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and a number of stadia, Stamford Bridge has received approval for licensed safe standing in seating areas from the 1st of January 2022. We're past that now. The visitors section is included in this trial and features independent barriers in front of seats, in front of each seat, allowing for free-flowing lateral movement in and out of seating rows. Supporters are asked not to stand on the rails or seats and unless moving to the facilities to remain in their designated space and avoid standing in gangways or on steps. Supporters are also advised to be respectful towards staff, stewards and other fans at all time. Accessibility. Chelsea's accessible statement can be found on the Spurs official app. Once again on this article, travel information to go to Stamford Bridge. Stamford Gate is the recommended entrance from Fulham Road, including for supporters wishing to use the accessible drop-off point. Accessible toilets are available in the visitor section, and supporters without their own radar key will be able to request one from a steward. Access stewards will be present in accessible viewing areas along with Tottenham Hotspur access stewards should any support be required. Refreshments. Concessions in the visitors section will be serving food and hot and cold drinks as well as alcohol beverages between 2:30 p.m. and 3 p.m. A pint of Signa and pie or hot dog will be at an offer of $2.95. Soft and hot drinks will be at an offer of $1.50. Visiting supporters pub. The nearest visiting supporters pub are to the north east of the Stamford Bridge at Earls Court and Air to 25 to a 30-minute walk, 1.4 miles to be exact from the stadium. These are Earls Court Tavern, which is 123 Earls Court Road, Kensington, London, S5, SW5 9RL. Prince of Tech, which is 161, so 161 Earls Court Road, Kensington, London, SW5 99RQ. The Courtfield Tavern, 187 Court Road, Kensington, London, SW5 9AN. Cashless payments. Stamford Bridge is a cashless stadium. All major debit and credit cards are accepted, as well as Apple Pay and Google Pay. Flags and banners. Due to limited space to display flags and banners, only those no larger than 250 centimetres times 80 centimetres will be permitted into the stadium. Flags and banners must not obstruct the view of others, cover advertising signs, or cause a safety hazard, nor they may be able to display abusive or threatening words, images, political statements, or be deemed unacceptable. Flag poles are not permitted. All flags and banners must carry a valid fire safety certificate. Bag policy. Bags larger than A4 size, which is 210mm times 297mm, will not be permitted into the stadium. Spurs respects. We are proud of our superb, loyal home and away support. We recognise that most supporters want to watch a football match and not to listen to abusive or incident language from the stands. Discriminatory behaviour, which includes shouting, chanting, or actions such as racist, homophobic, sexist, or anti-disability behaviour is unacceptable. If you witness incidents like this, please report them using the information below. The club reserves the right to identify banned supporters found guilty of using discriminatory language. Reporting antisocial behaviour. To report any antisocial or discriminatory behaviour while at Stamford Bridge, supporters can text details of the offender and the instance to 8877 or 07 894 937793, with down block row and seat details after the match. Incidents can be reported by emailing buildingbridges@chelseafc.com and supporter services at tottenhamhotspur.com. Ticket office. Supporters collecting duplicate tickets at the stadium can do so from the ticket office at the back of the shed end. Duplicate tickets must be requested by emailing ticket.office@tottenhamhotspur.com. Unauthorised use of tickets. Supporters are reminded that the unauthorised reselling or passing on of tickets is strictly prohibited in line with the club's sanction and banning policy. Supporters selling away match tickets above face value will receive an indefinite ban and deduction of all ticketing points. Supporters passing on away match tickets equal to face value or less will receive a written warning and a 50% reduction of all ticketing points. Supporters are unavailable to attend. Supporters unavailable to attend the match should contact the ticket office as soon as possible. Email us at ticket.office@tottenhamhotspur.com. The club should make its best endeavours to relocate tickets to other eligible supporters and issue refunds upon receipt of originally used tickets. So that is the travel information. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoy. Let's hope we get a point or maybe even beat Chelsea. You just never know. After our disappointment in the Carabao Cup, getting knocked out, so I want to get revenge on them. And under Nuno this season as well in the Premier League. I want to get revenge. It'd be a tough game. One, it's at Stamford Bridge. Two, they're doing very well. And despite their recent form, and it's unlikely they'll win the title, it's not over yet. And they're still a very good top four team with a good manager and a good team. So don't underestimate Chelsea. But our recent form in the Premier League under Conte and what magic Conte can bring against his former club returns to Stamford Bridge again. I do believe confidence going to the game for us at a 0-0 draw, and I say it now, I take a point. Thank you guys, and as always, come on you Spurs, let's beat Chelsea, come on.